Hello and welcome to a Rome 2 modding spotlight on these guys, the Legions of Rome. First off I want to show you the Centurion and Standard Bearer model. That's Standard Bearer there with the awesome chainmail, it looks so cool. The shield looks pretty cool as well, and all the standards have the names of their legions on. Apart from the eagle there, because that's the eagle. The senior centurion there is so awesome, you can tell him because he has a black shield, a white and black crests, and he has those little blue kind of filarial there as well, which looks so cool. Right, these are here the armoured legionaries. They have really awesome shield designs, and all of them have this new armor texture, which is a kind of steampunky-ish version of the Roman armor as seen in Rise, Son of Rome. I don't know if that was the effect he was going for, but it still looks really awesome. The armored kind of shields look really cool as well. As you can tell, they've got like little kind of bolts in them to make them extra strength, which looks awesome. And then we go into the cavalry. Here's the Legionary Cavalry, which look far better than any Legionary Cavalry I've ever seen in any texture. Honestly, it's just the chainmail mixed with that shield looks really cool. The shields look almost like the Centurion shield that Titus Pullo, I think it was, in HBO's Rome used, and that looks really cool. And then there's the Centurion, who again looks awesome. And then you've got the Auxilary Cavalry, which are basically the same as Calzeals, except they've got the updated armor texture. So I think the shield textures are the same there, but I think he did say that he was, I think he was going to change all the textures that are Calzeals into his own, though I'm not sure about that. Don't quote me. These are the Evocati, and they're probably my favourite because their shield designs look so cool. What with the blue and it just looks cool. Who cares? It looks so cool. Right, now I'm just going to show you a quick look at each of the individual legions because they all have their own textures, and as you can see they all have their own standards, as you can see there, look, which tells you which legion it's from. Also the Centurion model, like I said, is a bit different for the usual cohorts. It's not so like individual and standy outish, which is kind of helpful, I think, because the senior Centurion should be someone you should be able to notice in the thick of battle, being as badass as possible. Right, these are the 20th Filarial Vetrix, and these were in Britain for a long time, but they were basically just a standing reserve, didn't do that much for most of the time. Right, these guys here are called the Fulminata. As you can tell, they've got like lightning bolts on their shield, which is from a famous battle they had where they were in a lightning storm, and they saw that as a good omen, really, and then kept it on their shields as kind of favour from the gods, I suppose. These guys are the 5th Algui. I again still can't pronounce anything Roman. These were the first non-citizen legionaries, i.e. they weren't Romans, and they had these cool little feathery top bits on their helmets, and used to carry big badass axes, which was pretty cool. Here we have the 9th Legion Hispania, my favourite, the ones who got lost in Britain. But they're generally my favourite because they were led at one point by Petellius Aurelius, who is my kind of username for everything nowadays, just because he's really awesome. These guys are the 2nd Adjuix, I can't pronounce it, but I know them more as the 2nd Augusta, made famous really by their campaigns in Britain, and you can read about them in Simon Scarra's books about Macro and Cato, which are just the best. Also the shield designs, nice. Here you can see that the Centurion has a completely white crest and purple shield, just to differentiate himself from the other Centurions. Right, these guys are Marines, the kind of naval side of the Romans. Still pretty cool, armoured, and those shield designs are just so badass. I think they also have a auxiliary version. I could be wrong, but I think I saw one. So that's cool. Right, here I'm just going to show you how to actually access these different units, because a lot of people seem to not be able to navigate this very well. I don't really understand why. But as you can see, all the unit cards have been changed out, and there's a lot more units, as you can tell there, with a lot of auxiliary units, which is quite cool. To select the kind of era that you want, you just click on the faction thing here. Also, you can note that the last one, the late Imperial Romans, which I just showed, yes. I wouldn't really call them late Imperial. I'd call them more early Imperial, because late Imperial's more like barbarian invasion style, with the kind of oval shields and like squamata, which was kind of like fish scales but golden, so kind of cool. But yeah, I'd call these guys more early Imperial, but yeah, whatever. So we have here the early Imperial, which is kind of Augustan era, so Teutoburg Forest kind of time. Slightly different shields, so they have the Augustan shields, and the textures might be different. I don't know, I haven't really tested that far. I think they were from last time I tried it. But yeah, they have all the same legions, which is quite cool, and the same amount of auxiliaries. Then we go on to the late Republican era, which is Caesar time, really. So, you know, when Caesar went in, invaded Gaul, so Caesar in Gaul, I suppose. Makes sense. Again, same unit cards, whatever. Well, except for the shield differences. Same kind of units, but the textures in this are definitely changed. I'll show you in a bit. Then we have the early Republican kind of era. These guys are, oh sorry, mid-Republican. But these guys are kind of cool as well. You have both your Hastati, your Principes, and your Triarii, while also having a mid-Republican cohort. Right, here I'm showing off the late Republican 9th Legion. As you can tell, the shield textures are different. They don't actually have the really cool badass. Yeah, sorry, just had to change the sound. It's really getting on my nerves. It's too loud. But yeah, the textures are different. As you can tell, there's not the black awesomeness that was there before. But I really like the Romans as they are here, especially the Centurions. Right, so I hope you enjoyed this kind of spotlight, as short or long as it may be now, as I've been recording for far too long now. But yeah, I really would recommend this. It's probably the best textures I've seen around. It's honestly so much work has been gone into this, but it only affects Rome, so it might screw up some of the other ones, which is kind of annoying. But I think I've managed to get around that. I think I've managed to get Legionnaires to work with this. I can't say that for definite, so don't quote me. But I really would recommend this, although it does have a very large impact on your FPS, and your computer will, honestly, the game will run a little bit slower with this on, just because of the quality of the textures. I had about a 5 to 10 FPS drop when I actually installed this, which is quite bad. But if you've got a computer that can run it, it's definitely worth it. Really is worth it. So have a good day, and I've been Petelius.